Hey everyone, continuing on with the basic martial arts / self-defense section of the at-home superhero training program. In my previous videos, I had you find your fight stance and then I gave you 5 different movement drills. I believe that movement is the foundation to your martial arts training, and I wanted to get you moving right at the beginning so you would have another option for cardio workouts while we're being safe at our home. So now let's look at striking. Real quick, I want to talk about when we make a fist, we want to make sure that we curl the fingers and put the thumbs on the outside of the fingers. We do not want to curl our fingers over our thumbs or we will hurt our thumbs and our hand. So that's very important. I also would like to mention that when I'm moving around and sparring, I like to keep my hands kind of relaxed. If I tighten up my fists and hold them real tight, there's more a tendency that my whole body will tighten up and I'll lose a lot of speed. So I like to keep them relaxed so I can also utilize different blocks from different martial arts. And if I'm relaxed, I keep my fists relaxed as I extend out for a punch. I tighten on impact and then I relax so I can retract quickly. That will be a key to speed. So if you're real tense and tight with your fists, there's a good chance you're going to lose some speed with your strikes. It's important in general. Just when you're moving around, try to stay as relaxed as possible. Try to breathe and use your breath to help relax you, because in a real self-defense situation or even in a martial arts situation where you're sparring, you're going to have a lot of stress can come up. And my teacher says, like, in a real self-defense scenario, you're probably going to fight at about 50% of what you're capable of when you're relaxed and training at the dojo. So, and I believe that. So if we have a lot of stress and we have a fear response, it's probably going to tighten us up. So if we can really work on being relaxed when we're training, there's more chance that will carry over into a real life situation. So that's important. All right, so getting back to those strikes, I just want to start with the straight punches. So we're going to start with the jab and the cross. I really want you to work on keeping those straight punches. My teachers were pointing out that I was starting to get a little, I was throwing a lot of these punches kind of on a curve. I was trying to be deceptive with it, but then I wasn't really throwing any straight punches. So when you throw a straight punch, you want to make sure that it's a straight punch. So notice, I'm here in a fighting stance. You should be able to do this from both sides. When I throw the jab, you can either go vertical fist or you can turn it over. And notice I turn my body sideways, right? So I can get extension and I can also use my core and my hips. And then that sets me up to throw the cross. I turn my hips the other direction. And it's important when you throw the cross that this back leg stays connected to the ground, that you're not coming up off of that foot. So you want to stay connected. So it's jab. I tend to go vertical fist because we do a lot of Wing Chun training, but it's totally fine if you want to turn it over. But you go jab, cross. And I would recommend move around, do your different movement drills, and then at first throw these kind of slow so you can work on the form, making sure that you're using your hips. And also another really important thing, that the punches track back to where they came from. Because there's this tendency at first to throw and drop, and then you're wide open to get hit. So that's important. If right off the bat you can start to learn to just track those hands back, then it makes sure that you're protected at all times. All right, so play around with that. Do all your different movement drills now, and then throw jab, cross, and work on turning that body. And then if you want to add a little more to it, just keep using those straight punches, but maybe start with jab, cross, move around, and then go cross, jab, and then go jab, jab, cross, and then go cross, cross, jab. So those are your first combos, really, really basic. But now we can start adding in some strikes because I've given you a lot of different movement drills. Start putting that together. Do your shadow boxing. I'll have more combos for you and more punches, and we'll also go over some kicks too in some upcoming videos.